I guess I should tell you how I started about the out. I mean, obviously there is a problem if all the time we have so many dogs that are not willing to let go and always have to be reminded, even if they're letting go, every once in a while they have to be reminded, or the out gets sticky, or it gets a chip shot. But there is constantly problems with an out, right? So that started to make me think, and that maybe we're not doing something the way we should be doing, how we're teaching the out itself. So how do we teach the out right now? The most common ways is like I had in that DVD long time ago, the game. Movement, stopping the movement, waiting the dog out until the dog lets go, reward with another bite, right? Everybody knows that. What does that teach the dog? It teaches them that if you stop, you let go. It's already in the foundation of the dog that no movement, you let go. But on top of that, there is something more interesting, because even though it seems like we're not putting any force and pressure, physical, that holding on the toy makes the dog feel that it lost a fight. It basically, you know, movement, stop, and you wait until he lets go. What you're telling him, you're saying, I'm going to be more stubborn than you, and I'm going to hold on and you're going to lose. But if you lose, eventually you're going to win. But bottom line is, it's based on that you're going to lose. And even though it's, you know, you're not physically making them let go, just that it seems like, you know, it's always thought that it's very benign, it's no pressure on the dog and whatever, but actually the authority that we keep talking about, you know, you're like, I'm gonna win right now. So it's up to you. You can lose right now, or you can lose 5 minutes later, but I'm gonna win the toy. And if you give up, then I'm gonna let you have it. So it's not a really good recipe, especially when we're talking protection sports, and not just protection sports. I mean, you can even talk about hunting dogs, or any police and army dogs, anything that has interest to bite and fight and stay on. What other ways we have for an out? We can exchange, right? We can go out, or we can put the treat right in front of the nose. He lets go, he gets a treat, then we reward again, then eventually, you know, we teach them to out. The problem to actually make the dog out is it's not so hard. But the serious issue that always comes up is that when we're teaching the dog to out in these ways, with exchange, being out and get another toy, or out and get food, we're making him, we are not making him, but we are using his willingness to let go. We're saying, we're going to make you want to now let go. And that doesn't really help us when we advance in training, and now the dog is holding on to something that it's not willing to let go of. So now he can be, oh, we have a treat, we have another toy, we have whatever. It's like, no, this is what I want, and I'm not willing to give it up. And now all the training that we've done prior to that, it doesn't really directly relate, it doesn't really taught that problem. You following me? So I decided that the way I came up with the whole out thing was, it was a pure problem solving. It was just like seminars like this that dogs will come and will nod out. And it was originally, it was strictly for problem solving. Then it worked very nicely with dog after dog, breed after breed, age. You know, some dogs were really seemed crazy. You know, there have been so many different ways of problem solving. I know of really, you know, people that teach seminars go around the world that have PhDs. So it's just like a lot of good background behind, but always taking the wrong direction when they problem solve with an out. I'll give you one example that was kind of interesting, and I've heard it on police conferences and places like that. The dog doesn't like to let go, so they start to give him things that are not so pleasant. So instead of biting the sleeve or the jacket or whatever, they give him some toy. It still doesn't out, then they give him some plastic pipe. Still doesn't out, then they give him some wood. Then they give him some metal pipe. Then it's really like just the metal part of a shovel. Just something that the dog does not want to bite. It just doesn't feel comfortable anymore, just so they can say, let go, so they let go, so they can reward. In theory, it may sound okay, but even in theory, it's not right, because the point is not to make the dog out something that they don't want to keep anyway, and then try to build from there. The point is to teach a dog that they want this, and you want them to want it as bad as they possibly can. They're just extreme possessiveness. And then have a now and give it up. And so later on I made it, you know, it worked beautifully, dog after dog. So in problem solving, then I decided, well, if it worked that good, why not just teach it that way? So started with the little puppies. I mean, like the littlest puppy that will hold on to something. And if you start moving it enough, if the puppy is like, I really not gonna let go. And it's, you know how puppies are, sometimes it's very unconscious almost, it's just a reflex, it's just holding, and it's not even fully aware that it's holding. And you make him let go. But you don't make him let go to convince him that he's gonna get something else. You don't let him let go to take possession over it and say, see, I win. Because as I explained, even though you're standing still, if you are the more stubborn one and you're holding and he's letting go, it doesn't matter if you give it back, you won. And the thing with an out, especially when we're teaching the out that we need for our sport, or the out for real protection and police and stuff, it's an out that has a very different meaning. The dog really has to give up, let go of something that they do not want to let go of. And that's the critical part of the whole philosophy that I have right now. Are you ready?